y'all. Happy Monday. Hope everyone is having a great start to their morning. Happy day off for some of you. Today is the day off for me. So, anyway, I wanted to get right into our word for today. We are at day 19 of our word fast. And all I know is these last few words, the last couple of days have been very challenging, and today's word is no different. So before I tell you the word for today, I want to read a passage of scripture from 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8. And it says, "We are pressed on every side by troubles, but we are not crushed. We are perplexed, but not driven to despair." Our word for today is despair. Yes, despair. Now, despair is one of those feelings that's very close to depression. So I'm not taking this lightly because I know that many people suffer with a feeling of despair. But unlike depression, most people who experience despair are able to go on with their lives. They're able to care for their children. They're able to go to their jobs. They're able to seemingly on the outside have a normal life. But on the inside, they struggle with finding hope and joy. And despair, it suffocates you to the point where it slowly sucks the life out of you. And eventually, if you stay in this place, it will eventually lead to despair. I read a quote, and here is what it said. It said, "People can live weeks without food, days without water, minutes without oxygen, but cannot live a moment without hope." Did you hear that? People can live weeks without food, days without water, minutes without oxygen, but not a moment without hope. And that is what despair does. It leaves you feeling hopeless. It leaves you feeling stuck and struggling to make sense of your life. And being a person who has at some point suffered with despair, a lot of times the despair that we feel is caused by distractions. And what do I mean by that? We focus far too much on what's wrong in our lives. We complain a lot about what we don't have or what we wish we had, and we don't focus on the blessing of what we do have. And so I think, or I feel, that if we learn how to starve our distractions and begin to feed our focus, the despair that we feel will be lifted. If we start living in an attitude of gratitude, the hopelessness that we feel will start to lift from us. We have jobs, maybe not the job you want, maybe not making the kind of money you want, but you have a job. And right now in this country, there are 800,000 people who are not working, who are struggling to make ends meet right now, who are standing in food lines, who are having to wonder where their next meal is going to come, how they're going to feed their children. And most of us, some of us, are still working and still complaining, still feeling like our life has no purpose and no meaning. So I challenge you today to look at that word despair and determine what are the distractions in your life that are causing you to feel hopeless. And if you could begin to starve your distractions and feed your focus, you can start to feel some joy about your life. Have a great, great Monday, and we will chat tomorrow.